Well, we're out on the course. It's been a while.
It has. A long while.
How many weeks, Marcus?
Over 3 months.
Some pain in that.
Yeah.
Mentally?
Mentally more than physically, but yeah, it's been very difficult not to be playing. Very difficult.
So, in this situation, do you totally block the golf out, or do you look at the results and see who's winning what, and looking at Johnny Evans' back nine and things like that?
Well, you can't switch it off, Jed. You know, when you've been playing as long as I have, 30 years, and you live for your golf, you can't turn it off. So yeah, I've been looking at the results. Particular attention on John O's stuff. He's had a few good laps, and noticing the young lads still continuing to bang the good scores in and
yes,
winning regularly, and handicaps coming down,
and some new players coming into the fold that have joined the club and now finding their feet there, sussing it out really. Because it does take a while to get the Mount Murray pathway.
Very much so. Yeah, very much so.
So just a little overview. It was a torn, was it like lower pectoral muscle?
Pectoral minor muscle, which is the muscle that sits underneath your major pectoral muscle. So there's different layers of muscles in that area, and it was the one underneath that. It's the one that you do with your chopping motion like that.
On the left side, was it?
On the left side, yeah.
Blimey. And that was round about the Isle of Man Championships, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was the second to last hole of the champs. My second shot into 10.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was at the end of the round, but I wasn't playing particularly well anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Well, speaking of champions, we had Rob Noon take the title for the third time. We had Emma take the ladies, and we had Keith Ward scoop the seniors, and then Rocco.
Yeah. Rocco
blistering around Peel, and part of the junior army, managing to capture all 4 trophies on the Mount Murray soil, if you like.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant that we've got all 4 champions that are members of this club. You know, I'm not sure, it may have happened before, but I can't remember it. Yeah, good luck to them. They played great, deserved to win, and I think it's a great advert for Mount Murray.
But it's funny though, isn't it? You think, why or how has that happened? What's the formula for that?
Well, first of all, I think the facilities up here now, with the short game area, the putting green and the driving range, makes practice a lot easier. It's all really close to each other, so you can go and do it as much as you want. And obviously we've got a world-class coach now over from Hollywood Golf Club in Stephen, and he seems to have hit the ground running, and the feedback that we're getting from people is that they're enjoying the lessons and learning lots of stuff, and you know, and that's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, brought something unique, not just to the club but to the island.
Yeah.
So you're on the comeback trail. You've been out on the range. You've not been suffering perhaps as much as what you thought. Tell me, where do you see it? Are you going to make Winter League?
We're going to play in the Winter League, but we're not going to be part of the Winter League because we tend to be away when the knockout stages happen, and there are set dates. So because we can't play in that, there doesn't seem an awful lot of point in joining the league. But I think, well, injury permitting, we're going to play as many weekends as we can, support the club, and be super subs and all that sort of stuff.
Well, it was a big success last year, and we say thank you to Neil Morrison for sponsoring, and then we've moved over to Julian and Thornton Financial Services is the full title. So if you need to increase your wealth, they're the people to go and see, apparently.
Apparently so.
There we go. Well, what we'll do, we've just popped out onto the 15th green, because this is a stretch of grass which is tantalising, mesmerising, confusing. I'll switch off the camera. We'll go onto the green, and I just want to get your view as a Mount Murray guru of the greens, and maybe just give us a bit of direction as to which way to hit those putts, and perhaps for the new members, they can just, I don't know, steer themselves to success with that bit of extra knowledge.
Let's have a look.
Marcus, we'll just look back at the tee. It's not the longest of par fours, but you're going uphill, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's a great hole. It's a risk-reward par 4, quite short. For the bigger hitters, you know, the likes of Rob Noon, Ireland champion, he'd be going for the green here all day because he's got the length, to get up to the green, no problem. And actually, it takes away a lot of the issues of playing the hole if you can hit it long enough. For the rest of us, it's all about strategy. It's all about where you're going to put your tee shot, because there's a particularly nasty set of 2 gorse bushes that your ball naturally wants to kick into off a decent drive. So you've got to take that out of play, because you'd be surprised how often a great drive ends up into those 2 little tiny bushes.
I know, and as soon as the ball leaves the club, you know it's going there, don't you?
Yeah, and you start talking to your ball, saying, stay short, miss him.
Yeah, no. And you've got a bit of trouble. But if you just look over to this side, the safe side, you're leaving yourself quite more than challenging shot. You've got 3 bunkers and some humps to get over. Yeah,
left off the tee gives you more room for error with your tee shot, for sure. But then the angle into the green isn't particularly good. You've quite often got a wind off your left-hand side, which is not nice. You've got to come over the 3 bunkers, and then the green sits in such a way that, depending on the flag, it can be almost impossible to get anywhere near the flag in the summer months when there's a bit of bounce and roll. So going down the left side off the tee can be a good strategy, but it's not one that you would want to do ideally. I think this is a sort of hole where the further right you go off the tee, you open up the hole much better. So you're basically playing straight into the green, straight down it, as opposed to coming in from the side. That's the best way to do it if you can avoid those little copse of trees.
But rightly so, they're going to grow some rough there to perhaps make it a little bit more sensible on the 18th. But there's a little flat patch there, isn't there? Just before the famous gorse bushes. And you can hit a decent shot in off there, can't you?
Yeah. I mean that's the ideal spot to be, just on the right-hand side of the fairway down there on the flat bit. It's best not to be on the upslope, I find. The number of times you get good drives up here, and then you're on that upslope and you catch it a smidge fat.
And you're here.
And it's unforgiving, because as soon as it lands short, it runs straight back down this hill, and it makes you look very silly.
But let's face it, if we chuck a ball up and you're there, what a complex role you've got.
Yeah. I mean, if the pin's at the front, that's actually a great spot to be, anywhere on the front side here, because putting back down towards us, if the pin's at the front, is an absolute no-no, because you're going to degreen it. If the pin is centre or back, if you've got your ball at the front of the green, that's a heck of a difficult putt. I mean, there's a huge amount of break, and it's quite uphill for the first 6 or 7 yards, and then it runs away from you, and it either breaks harsh to the right, so that back right pin, and gauging the speed is quite difficult.
So if you could put your ball anywhere, forget where the pin is. Okay. Where is the safe bet? Because let's face it, a 4 will do on here any day.
Again, I know you say forget about the pin, but the pin is the most important aspect to this hole. If you're in the wrong place on the green for where the pin is, you have a hell of a job to 2-putt. So it's all about pin position. This green is all about pin position. Same as 16. 2 short par 4s that you think you should easily birdie, but unless you put the ball on the right part of the green for the flag that you're putting towards, then you'd be surprised how often you walk off with a 5, never mind a 3.
Well, shall we just have a little go?
Yeah, if you want.
I'll just see how you get on. What is like I don't know, the tricky spot would be just round here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, anything from down here, because you're going up.
Look at that, it's right. I mean, this is winter golf, and it's
rolling off, look.
And he's been, looking after the greens as Gary, with the essential bit of tining. I mean, they'll be great again at the weekend, but let's see how you tackle this one. What's going through your head here?
Right, so you can see it's severely uphill to start off with. After about 5 yards, it levels off, and then it starts to roll left to right, down towards the right-hand side of the green. You've got the wind coming across as well, so it's all about hitting it hard enough to get it up the first bit, and getting it perfect so that it just dribbles down out to the hole without going 6 feet past, which is
But
difficult.
you're better off past, aren't you?
Absolutely,
You know,
you want an
anything.
uphill putt. On this
Yeah.
green, you want uphill putts all the time.
Well,
preferably.
we've done no practicing.
No.
You've been off for ages, and we're not going to do like 500 takes. We're going to do it in one.
We're going to do one
So
go.
you're on the spot. We'll just
you're
do
having
it.
a laugh. You're having a laugh.
Here he is.
Okay, right. Well,
Straight off the. You've been pulling carrots out the ground.
I have, mate. I haven't been
Out
anywhere near.
today.
I haven't been anywhere near this green for 3 months, and I've not had a putt, and I'm going to look very silly now. I'm going to look very silly.
I don't think he will, you know.
Let's have a little look. Oh, too hard.
Oh, no, it's not. It's. I'll let you have another go. There's a ball behind you.
They're
So
quick,
that's
aren't
gone
they?
about. Oh, they're amazing.
Wow.
Incredible. I've had so many visitors applauding the state of the greens. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hello. Hello. Oh, it nearly dropped.
But if
in.
you look at that.
Skate off.
Well, that's exactly what we're talking about. If you're in the wrong place on the green,
Yeah.
I mean, that was a decent putt, the second one, but look at it. It's 8 feet. It's 8 feet because it's taken the slope. The wind is howling across, and now we've got
We've got quite a bit of work to do. But I tell you what, we'll make tracks and we'll head over to the 16th because everyone loves that hole, and we'll go to on a green that perhaps is even more mind-bendingly hard.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll just amble our way round the corner to the edge of the plantation. We've had a lot of new members. I think the average age has plummeted, which is great to see.
Yeah.
And a lot of the new members are quite new to golf, which I'm hearing golf has become trendy and popular again.
Well, I've noticed there's an awful lot of kids playing now. We've got a great junior section. You can barely get on the driving range sometimes for all the kids that are playing, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are members. And it's great that we've attracted a lot of people to come up here.
I've seen though some of the big firms in Douglas. You've had small groups coming in, 3, 4, 5 from the office, and they've been having coaching off Stephen and really getting into the game. I think it's dawned on everyone that cycling perhaps is not quite what it's cracked up to be. I mean, you never see a happy cyclist. When you're going along the road, it looks a bit grim at the moment. I think more people are turning to golf, but I will say that the likes of Instagram and TikTok, these little videos, I don't know, people are sat there scrolling when they're doing their thing, and golf seems to be quite appealing, doesn't it? Because there's all kinds of ways to play, trick shots, memorable things, like going back in the past, the great days of Sevi, things like that. There's so much content out there.
Yeah, and it's on the television all the time, isn't it? So that's got to help.
We'll talk about that. So, Live Golf, does that?
Oh.
Does that? Where are you with that?
No, I'm not a lover of it. I'm
You don't like the F-bomb getting dropped?
No, it's not that. It's not proper golf. It's exhibition golf, in my view. But, if people want to go and support that, crack on. I mean, at the end of the day, if it brings golf to a different audience, then that's got to be good overall. But it's not for me.
I think it's just gone a little bit too far, a little bit too extreme. But I think it's caused the PGA to have a rethink about their offering, their output, and they have changed things a little bit. And I think in some ways it's made some of the players a little bit more human. So the likes of Bryson, who I wasn't a huge fan of some time ago, and yet around the US Open, I thought that was good, and the interviews that he gave and the content afterwards was interesting. So
yeah, he seems to have changed his demeanour, which is not a bad thing. It's not really for me. Obviously it's not on terrestrial television or on satellite television, so you've got to watch it on the internet. But it's not for me. But if it brings a different audience into golf, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think you've got to move with the times, but we'll see. And we've moved on to the 16th, so we'll just get our putters out again, and you can walk and talk us through this. I don't know, what do you call it? What is it?
It's a roller coaster.
A roller coaster. Just got to ride it. So Marcus, it's one of the island's best risk and reward holes. In fact, just thinking about round the island, where have you got a risk and reward? I think you've got A few at Rowney, like so the 4th at Rowney is one, isn't it? That's
That's
a great one. Where else have you got?
Well, you got the 9th at Peel. That's drivable. Although you got to be a decent hitter to get it on there, I suppose. Where else?
You've got. Well, you could say the 1st at Castletown.
Yeah.
That's one. You give it a smash.
Yeah.
And of course the 4th at Ramsey and the 6th at Ramsey.
Yeah. Yeah. The 4th especially. If you're a decent, decent hitter, you can probably get on there with a 3 wood.
Yeah.
But it's not for me. I can't. I mean, I have got on there, but not on a competitive round.
It's a tough one, isn't it? A tough call early in the day,
Yeah.
and then I'm trying to think what other courses have you got where you can just perhaps knock one up. I'm trying to think. There's obviously a few at King Edward Bay because it does play quite short sometimes, and the wind can be generous. But certainly for this one, when you've got a good card going, you stood on the tee, and it's only about 185 yards to get it over the trees, isn't it? And quite often there's a bit of a wind behind, so it's not asking too much, but sometimes it is too much for players.
Yeah. Well, it's just a great hole. It plays totally different from the winter to the summer, because in the winter, with the soft ground, the bounce isn't as big a issue, and the greens are a bit more receptive. But I find that once you get past end of April, beginning of May, going for the green is a lot more risky because of the bounce, because you're basically hitting it onto a downslope.
Yeah.
And it kicks straight over the back of the green.
And there's no fun in
into
here,
this
is there?
stuff, and that you got no shot. Even if you land it straight on the green, the green runs down the hill, so it's all wanting to come down into this stuff at the back here.
So what's the play off the tee for everyone? Really?
Well,
percentages.
I think again depends on whether it's stroke play or whether it's Stableford or whether you're in a match play situation or better ball. But if you were playing stroke play in an important competition in the summer, I do not see going for the green as the sensible option, because you're easily bringing in 6 in, because you could go out of bounds over the back. I think the layup is the shot, and then your precision with your wedge into the green is just so important on this green.
But there's some, if we just walk up here, there are some golden rules about this green, aren't there? And I remember when I first started playing here, you told me a few important pieces of advice.
Well, everybody thinks it's such an easy hole, and it is, until you get to the green. And then this green is, I would say, probably, along with the 4th, the trickiest green on the course. And I always say to people that come and they haven't played here much before, is the rule I always say is you've got to be, as you look at the green, you've got to be left of the flag, so you've got to be under the flag, and preferably short of it. And if you do that, you're giving yourself a decent chance to make a birdie or 2-putt. If you go right of the flag, so if you're in the top part of the green and the flag's in the bottom part, you're in some real trouble. Similarly, if you go past the flag and you're underneath it, that's difficult as well, because you've got a big bend in putt. So ideally, left of the flag and short of it. And that, for me,
left of the flag is the rule, isn't it?
Left
really?
of the flag,
that is
short if you can be of the flag, but left of it for sure.
I'll put you on the spot again.
Oh,
imagine if you're at the back of imagine if you're here. Let's just bump you down here.
So this one is not a nice putt, but it's nowhere near as bad as it would be from down there. But we'll give it a bash. There won't be a huge amount of break on this particular bit, I don't think. But again, I've not had a putt on here for 3 months. Could go anywhere. It's probably going to be quick.
Can you believe the speed of that?
Unbelievable, isn't it?
You hardly touched it.
And it's gone, and it's still moving.
And we've had a bit of work done this week, bit of tining done,
and we've had some pretty big rain as well. And I tapped that, so you can imagine what that's like in the summer.
Oh, you're it's what an e-knocker, isn't it?
An e-knocker.
An e-knocker. especially if you're going well.
Now, if we were here, right, I'm left of the flag, but I'm long, and this is horrendous. This could go anywhere. If I get this closer than that ball, then I've done all right. This is going to break.
Way out left. Now, you've hardly touched it. It's coming in at a right angle, and a fraction
short.
more,
Yeah.
you would have been
But-
tapping.
But now,
Oh,
look at the putt I've got now. I don't
Yeah.
want that one either.
No,
I'd rather have that one, even though it's twice as long, because I'm
you
putting
take
up.
the one bottom
Because
side.
if I miss this putt, I'm probably going to be outside that ball.
Well, I'm not going to put you through the pain of
I'm not putting it.
taking that, but
Surely that's a give me.
I think it would be on a Thursday morning in some 4 balls. There you go.
Sure.
But no, Marcus, that's great just to have a good insight, and we'll get out on the course later on, maybe do some more holes. I'm really interested in how to play the 5th. That's something else, and in the 3rd as well. Again, you know, you get asked the question like so many of the holes at this course.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many good ones, isn't there? And there's so many different ways to play them.
Magic. I'll look forward to it, Marcus. Thank you for that. Adios.